In May 1789, the Estates General, France's closest equivalent to a parliament, met for the first time in 175 years. The last time it had gathered was in 1614. From the beginning, the meeting was plagued by disagreements over how voting should be conducted. Because the Third Estate represented the overwhelming majority of the French population, it demanded that votes be counted by individual delegates. One person, one vote. Since they had twice the number of delegates as each of the other estates, this would give them a meaningful voice. The clergy and nobility, however, insisted that votes be counted by estate, not by head. Under this system, each estate, no matter its size, received one vote. To understand the problem, consider this example. The clergy had 200 members in favour and 100 against, resulting in one vote for. The nobility also had 200 in favour and 100 against, producing one vote for. Meanwhile, the Third Estate had 1,500 against and none in favour, giving it one vote against. Despite the Third Estate having far more representatives, each estate still received only one collective vote. Result: the measure passes 2-1, even though 700 more actual people voted against it than for it. This built-in inequality infuriated the Third Estate. They demanded that the king order voting by head, not by estate. To everyone's surprise, King Louis XVI ruled in favour of the traditional system. The estates would continue to vote separately. The Third Estate refused to accept this. On June 17, 1789, it took a revolutionary step. It declared itself the National Assembly, the true representative body of the French nation. It invited members of the clergy and nobility to join. A few did, but many hesitated. France entered a period of uncertainty, confusion, and growing tension. While political battles continued in Versailles, conditions in Paris and across France grew increasingly dire. Bread prices had soared throughout the spring and early summer of 1789, leaving ordinary people struggling to afford basic food. At the same time, rumours spread that the king might use the army to dissolve the National Assembly, heightening fear and tension among the population. Fearing a crackdown, Parisians believed they needed to arm themselves. The obvious place to get weapons was the Bastille, a medieval fortress and armory located in Paris. Although not a large prison at the time, it symbolized royal authority. On July 14, 1789, a crowd marched on the Bastille to seize gunpowder and weapons. The soldiers guarding the fortress fired on the crowd, but the Parisians ultimately stormed the Bastille, killing several soldiers and beheading the commander. They carried his head on a pike through the streets and at the nearby city hall. They also killed the mayor and displayed his severed head. This shocking outbreak of violence stunned Louis. Recognizing he had lost control of the situation, Louis ordered the clergy and nobility to join the Third Estate in the National Assembly. This move formally acknowledged the National Assembly as the sovereign political body of France. With that decision, the French Revolution was fully underway. Power had shifted from the monarchy to an elected assembly, something unimaginable just a few months earlier. The revolution, in short, was suddenly off to the races.